Airshow. All right, now, eyes to the right. Rob, let's kick off this very important Airshow demonstration.
Thank you, Danny Clisham. It's a familiar sound to many of you in the area. When you hear that distinct sound, many look to the sky and start looking for the helicopter. To many, it's a sound of comfort. Many others say a prayer or send positive thoughts up for whoever is on board. That sound, of course, is CareFlight. The sound of CareFlight transporting a critically ill or injured person somewhere that they can receive life-saving care. The history of the air medical transport started in the military when wounded soldiers on the battlefield needed to be taken to the hospital. It improved survival rates with fewer complications if the soldiers were transported quickly. Some say the first was a hot air balloon back in the 1700s. The Wright brothers' development of the fixed-wing airplane led to a Curtiss JN-4 biplane to be converted into an air ambulance took place in 1918. And in the 1970s, air medical transport was expanded to the civilian side.
Well, in the air, Premier Health is proud to be the home of the 65th Air Medical Ambulance Service in the country and the first in the region. CareFlight Air and mobile services started back in 1983 in a single-engine A-Star helicopter. It could transport a single patient at a speed of 140 miles per hour directly to the hospital. As technology, safety, and aircraft have improved, CareFlight has made many changes as well. Today, CareFlight flies in the Airbus Dauphin 365. Now, it's able to transport 2 patients at a time. And if needed, it has a top speed of about 3 miles a minute. The Dauphin is known for its speed and superior safety features. One safety feature is, unlike the standard helicopter that have skids to land the helicopter, the Dauphin helicopter has an actual landing gear. But what that does, it gives the helicopter the advantage of being able to taxi on the ground like an airplane. With a sophisticated electronic cockpit, fully integrated autopilot, and complete instrument flight capabilities, CareFlight helicopters provide.
These unique capabilities give CareFlight pilots options to transport critically ill or injured patients when other air transport services cannot. Even the use of night vision goggles. Yes, that's another safety feature that CareFlight utilizes. This enhances safety in the darkest conditions when crews are landing in remote areas with little or no light.
Now today, CareFlight has multiple aircraft bases around the region to serve this community. The base operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Their staff includes critical care nurses, paramedics, pilots, mechanics, and communications specialists. They also have ground units called mobile intensive care units that provide the same level of care. These can be utilized if the patient does not have a time-sensitive illness or injury that still needs a
scene like MASH and the TV show MASH, seeing how those soldiers' lives were, so many were saved because that old bubble front Bell 47 helicopter.
Yeah, it was very primitive by those standards. That was the Korean War, but things have changed. The level of sophistication, as we mentioned in our narrative, has also kept up state-of-the-art instruments and get the job done day and night. Now, we have talked about all that, but let's put it on a personal level. You or somebody you love gets in an accident out on the freeway. The freeway comes to a stop. Ground-based emergency medical services may be blocked by the traffic. They may lose time getting out there. Here's where the helicopter comes in. From their starting point at the hospital area, the crew is ready to go. They get in the helicopter. They fly at 3 miles a minute out to the adjacent site of the accident where you are in, or maybe somebody you love. Then they can land right by the accident. Again, we told you they have equipment in the helicopter with trained personnel. They can administer to you right away. And then, without worrying about ground-based traffic, up, lift off again, as they say, as the crow flies directly back to the hospital facility, land there while you're being treated. That may be the difference between happy ending and a not so happy ending. And CareFlight and the helicopter provides that humane service, and it keeps us and our friends and family as safe as possible.
Indeed. This being the birthplace of aviation with the Wright brothers, Stratford, Connecticut was another birthplace of rotary winged flight. It wasn't actually the birthplace, because even Leonardo da Vinci thought about that 500 years ago. But the Germans also started working on rotary winged flight. But it was a guy named Igor Sikorsky in Stratford, Connecticut, who overcame incredible physics and aerodynamics problems because of the gyroscope of that huge rotary wing to make it possible. And he said something very, very important. He said an airplane can get out there near you and drop stuff in the vicinity, but a helicopter can come right to you and take care of it.
And it has been doing that in civilian life and military life since the sophistication and development of the first successful helicopters.
How about a nice round of applause, if you will, for the folks at CareFlight, the official air ambulance service here at the Dayton Airshow since 1983. I think we've been, shoot, I started here in '79 as a volunteer, so it's been something else. How about the folks from Dayton Freight? We're thankful to them. They're a proud sponsor of the show. And the STEM, the Science